Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Matt Atchity, and I'm very excited to introduce you to our guests today, Alice Eve and Jack Eve, the star and producer and writer-director of Bees Make Honey, which is kind of a family affair. You guys are working on this together, or made this together, and Dad, Trevor Eve, is involved as well. Now I know you've done a film with your father, Jack?
I did a while ago. When I first came out of drama school, I put him in front of the camera and he agreed to do it, bless him. I did
Nice.
Indeed. Yeah.
Now, is this the first time all three of you have worked together on a feature film?
My dad played, my dad.
My dad.
My dad.
Our dad.
Our dad.
You can share him.
Okay.
See, the sibling rivalry starts already.
Yeah, it never ends.
I get it, I got three.
You have three?
I have three.
Four of you?
There's four, yeah.
It's too many, isn't it?
It is.
It's
Where
a
do you,
lot.
where
I was
do you
the
fit
first.
in? Are you the first?
I'm the first.
That's the easiest. So I'm the
It
middle.
is, right? Yeah.
I'm the middle one, so I always,
the
I
middle
always feel
one's
excluded
tough.
either way. I'm like, Alice is doing that, or George, my little brother, is
You've
doing
got a
this. And
little
I'm like,
brother.
where do I go? Which way do I go?
Yeah,
You know?
because the little one gets like the cute one,
Yeah.
and then also gets to see the mistakes the older ones get.
Yeah.
Right?
Relentless.
Exactly.
But that's not what we're not talking about sibling.
Yeah, my dad and my mom played my parents in She's Out of My League.
Right.
So that was the first time I've worked with Dad, but it's the first time the three of us have worked together, yes.
Okay.
And also, George did the music, didn't he?
Yeah, our brother George has a band called Joy Room, who feature...
No, he's moved...
Well, he's
Awkward.
He's now solo as well, George
Okay.
Eve. But he had a band called Joy Room, and they one of their songs features in the film. It's called Late at Night. It's a particularly cool moment, actually, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm really grateful for them just to give us a song to put in the movie. It also is a song for anyone who is interested out there. It's also the song that we use in the trailer.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask about that. So tell us a little bit about the movie, because I think we have a clip, but if you could give us a little bit about what the movie's about.
So Alice is really good at this. Way better than me at
Then Alice, would you
this
tell
bit.
us
So
a little
I'm
about
gonna
the film?
politely hand this over to my sister.
So this is a film set in the 1930s about a woman whose rich husband dies, and she is from the other side of the tracks and wants to keep the house, and the Nazis are coming, and she wants to keep it off the Nazis because you know that was a big thing, that, you know, Howard Zender's about them coming in and trying to take strongholds in Britain for their domination. And she decides to throw a Halloween party that mimics the party he died at to find the killer. And so it's a kind of whodunit, mystery caper, but like a bit of a spoof.
Yeah, the spoof element was something which we really focused on a lot. And also, my main intention in making the thing was to try and just inject a little bit of energy, a little bit of punk. I know punk is a scary word for some people, but a little bit of energy and punk into that sort of slightly earnest period genre, you know, British period,
Right.
which is actually a period in history which was quite debauched. So I wanted to kind of, you know, focus on that.
Well,
as
we have a clip. So you talk about it as punk. Let's take a look at that clip really quick to give people a taste of this.
You have some catching up to do, Inspector Shoerope. Champagne?
Oh, thank you, but I refrained from the liquor when on duty.
That. I'm yet to start your industrial clock. Go on.
If you insist.
Never insist, always persist. So what am I?
I'm sorry?
For my Hallows Eve costume party.
Welcome, you ghastly ghouls of All Hallows Eve, to the annual costume contest. Y'all know what time it is. I hereby announce, Colette, if I call your name, you are a nominee. Saunter your suave self onto this very stage and have a fine boogie-woogie with yours truly. You are invited. Your nominees are...
That looks very fun. I love the trailer because the trailer's got that punk sensibility to it. And you were saying before we went to the clip that that era was debauched, and I think not a lot of people realize that. But you watch the trailer for this and even that clip, you definitely get that sense. So was that an important part you were trying to relate to the audience, that, you know, things maybe in the 30s weren't quite as proper as, say, something like Downton Abbey would have us believe?
Yeah, you mean in using the trailer?
Or just in the film in general?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I mean, I wrote it at the time when Downton Abbey was sort of taking over the world, or towards the end of its reign. And yeah, although I love Downton Abbey and that sort of earnest Britain, period Britain that we love. I also, that time in reality was also had, you know, and Germany at the time we had the Weimar Republic, which was, it was all kicking off. There's that great movie Cabaret, which kind of focuses on that a little, or a lot actually. So yeah, definitely wanted to kind of really convey the sense of hedonism that was prevalent at that time.
Now, Alice, can you tell us a little about Honey? Because she seems like this character who is fierce and knows who she is, and the line we saw in the clip is "Don't insist, persist."
Yeah, that's a good line. Never insist, always persist.
Yeah.
She's just a ball breaker, you know. She's a woman who's been widowed, and there were much fewer options then for women not married. She was under threat. The house was going to be taken over. So she took no prisoners and put all her pain very, very hidden and deep inside, and kind of lived life like it was to be lost, like it was a battle, and it is, in my opinion.
So you produced this film.
With Jack and his producer, AJ.
What's that working relationship with you guys like as brother-sister?
Very tumultuous. Our friendship isn't, though, but our working relationship is.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have much cash to make the film. So, I mean, I think any relationship between producers is going to be tumultuous when there's no cash to throw around, you know? So, yeah, but it was, I mean, I really, really enjoyed working with Alice. It was a great privilege. I mean, and irrelevant of her being my sister, just to get the chance to work with Alice, because she's a fantastic actress.
But so also because when you're with cool. Like a sibling, you both can just say what you want, can't you?
Right.
There's not like, right now, I wouldn't say anything that I thought would upset you in any way, but it's him. And I like literally watched Mum change his nappies. So I'm like, what do you mean I have to do that? Like it kind of, right. You feel comfortable.
Well, with people that you didn't grow up with, there's an escalation before you just immediately start screaming at each other, right? But with family, there's a,
yes.
Like, you get to a point where the gloves are permanently off,
totally.
So to speak, right?
Yeah.
And somebody can say something at all, like you've gone through that escalation so many times that you just immediately give it right back to them. But yeah. I would imagine maybe that actually makes a little bit more efficiency.
Well, we had an interesting first Friday. We had a very civilized shooting schedule of Monday through Friday, and our first Friday evening was probably the time when the crew were first exposed to me and Alice having a sort of slightly colloquial, conversation. And on that first instance, they were like, "Whoa!" And then once that happened, then it was like, "Okay, cool. Like this is what's going to happen. I get it now." But I think because we have that bond that you guys have just been discussing, that we have that sort of rapport,
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The movie is available on July 2nd, VOD here in the States.
Exactly.
But I think has it been in some of the festivals so far? Have you been?
Yeah, we've done a few festivals. It's been really fun. We had some in Rain Dance in England, which was cool. And then I went to Brussels, which was interesting and great. And, it was a wild festival. That was great fun. So, yeah, there's zombies walking around like all the time.
All right, so this is the first feature-length film you guys have done together. Are you willing to work together again?
I think we were talking about producing together again, yeah.
Certainly, yeah. Absolutely.
Sometimes, like, candor makes for an efficient relationship. If you don't have to kind of dance around the truth, you can actually move further.
Got it. So so I imagine that works for being kind of having a director-actor relationship too, right? That he can be playing with you.
Yeah.
And like, okay, well, that's what you want. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, although there's a sensitivity as an artist, as an actor, that there isn't as a producer. It's not so vulnerable a position.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having us.
Make Honey will be available on July 2nd on VOD. Thank you very much.